Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Oline and I'm a knitter from Norway. This video is going to be more of a vlog kind of video. As you can see, this is my usual setup. But today I would clear away all of my yarn. I've gotten quite a lot yarn in the last couple of months and I've not really figured out a system for keeping it. At least not a system I like, so that's my plan for today. So I thought I'd take you with me. As you can see, it's quite a lot. And in this basket, that's all my scrap yarn, so I'm also going to sort through those. But I thought, well, I'm already looking at all my yarn. I thought I would show some of my plans and maybe even get your help to figure out what I can do with the things I don't have a plan for. So that's what I'm going to do today, and I hope you'll want to do it with me. I'm not quite sure what the structure of this video is going to be, but I thought maybe I would talk about my plans and the yarns first and then put them away. So I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, I think I'm going to try filming like this and then we'll just have to see how well that turns out. As I said, I think I'll start with showing the yarn, at least one skein of each type and color, and then talk a bit about my plans before we move into actually cleaning it. So I guess I'll just start with that. To start off, I have this Drops Lima in the color navy blue and in the color white. I don't know how well that picks up on camera. I actually got this as a gift from my brother, and I have 5 of these and 2 of this, and I got a pattern to go along with them, so these have a plan. I don't exactly know what the pattern is called, but at least they have a plan. So that's these ones. Then I have quite a few left over Drops Floras and Drops Kid Silk from when I made my zipper sweater. I think the current plan for this is to make teddy bear sweaters by Petite Knit. I think I at least can make 2 maybe with the amount of mohair I have, but after that I'll still be left with a couple of Drops Floras, and I'm not quite sure what I'll do with those. But I do use fingering yarn quite a lot, so I'm not worried about not having plans. So that's all of this. I think I'm just going to move like this into all the yarn. I have 1 skein of this. This is Gaelic cotton and wool. It's 55% lamb's wool and 45% cotton. I just have 1 skein of this, but it's a bit over 200 meters, but I'm not quite sure what I'll do with this. I think I'm maybe going to make a jacket for a baby or something, because I quite like the color, and for a summer baby I think it would be nice with both wool and cotton. But I think this has been in my stash for maybe 5 years, so I'm quite keen on actually getting some use out of it. Then moving into larger quantities of yarn here, I'll show you without the plastic bag. It's Drops Baby Merino in the color Peanut. I started with 1 kilo of this, but now I'm down to 600 and something. I don't have clear plans for this, but it's really nice for baby knits and gift knits and all of that, so I know I'll get use out of it, but don't have any concrete plans. Then I have this, also Drops Baby Merino. This is the color Sage Green. It's one of my favorite colors, just a nice muted green, and I have, I don't know, maybe 800 grams of this now, so I don't have a plan for all of it, but I'm pretty sure one of my next projects is going to be making a Sunday suit for my son using this. I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time I'm not, because making a Sunday suit in size 18 to 24, that's going to be quite a lot of work, but that's my Sage Green Baby Merino. Then I have 4 of this Sandnes Tynn Merino Ull, and this is my favorite color. It's the Golden Brown by Sandnes Garn. Unfortunately, it's out of production, this color, so I'm almost afraid to use it because it is my all-time favorite color and you can't get it anymore, so I'm quite sad about that. So I'm really cherishing this yarn, and I want to make something I know I will get the maximum amount of wear out of, but I'm thinking it's going to be a sweater for my son. So that's that. Another yarn by Sandnes Garn, also Tynn Merino Ull, just in blue. I think this is the ink blue. This, I'll sit down. This is also a really nice color that I'm almost afraid to use. I still think this is in production, I'm not quite sure, but I just love this blue color, so I want to make sure I make something I will get loads of use out of. So therefore I'm kind of waiting on this yarn for when I get a plan that I just think, yes, I must knit that. So I'm waiting to catch that feeling for these ones. Then moving into more drops, I have, as you can see, quite a lot of this Drops Lima. This is in the color Almond, I think, and I just think this is a really nice kind of muted brown, and I really want to make my son a teddy bear sweater by Petite Knit in this color, and I also think I'm going to make Sunday socks using this yarn. So that's the current plan for this. I think I have about 800 grams of this as well. More drops. I hope the bags don't crinkle too much. This is Drops Flora in the color white. I have quite a lot of this, maybe 650 grams. And I got this to be a base color for Friday sweaters, so I always have a base color if I want to make Friday sweaters. So I don't have any plans to make a Friday sweater right now, but if I want to make one, I always have just a white base. So that's quite nice. It's just a plain white. I think you can see from the yarn I have that I'm quite fond of fingering weights, and recently I've moved on from Baby Merino and using more of Drops Flora, because I think it's quite a nice yarn, and I think it's quite nice to not only use superwash. Of course, superwash is really nice when knitting for babies that do a lot of spit up or maybe in kindergarten and are really messy, but I really like to have the opportunity to not use superwash all the time. But speaking of superwash, I have even more of the Drops Baby Merino, this time in the color light grey, and as you can see I have quite a few of these as well. This is also just a really nice basic color. I think it's quite nice to have basic colors in child-friendly yarn, because if I'm ever going to make a gift knit, I just have some on hand. So no specific plans for this one as well, just nice to have on hand if I'm going to be gift knitting. I have 2 bags of Baby Merino from Drops left. I have this. I don't know if the color is captured on camera correctly. This is Drops Petrol. I don't know how you pronounce that in English. And it's kind of a blue kind of green color, and I must say it's one of my favorite blues, and I think one of my favorite colors all time. So I have quite a lot of that, and I don't have specific plans for this either, but I think that it might turn into pants maybe, or something like that, but also I have quite a lot. Then the last bit of Baby Merino I have is this chocolate color, which is also a really nice brown. I think one of my favorite browns from Drops at least. So I just have 200 grams of this, so I'm also waiting a bit on using this, because I want to find a project that I really want to make with this. Mostly for the process, because I want to really be able to cherish this yarn. But that's all of my Baby Merino. I have to move further back because the yarn is getting further back. Then I have some of this Drops Lima. I think about 500 grams maybe. This is the chalk color, and I really enjoyed knitting up socks with this previously, so I might continue to do that. But I'm also thinking about maybe making either an anchor sweater or jacket for my son using this. He had one when he was a baby in this color, and I looked at pictures some days ago and saw that, and it really got me thinking about he should get another one. So that might be something I cast on soon. I really hope the bags don't crinkle too much. I have even more Drops Flora. This is in the color grey or something like that. And I have quite a lot of these too. This had a plan previously, but I don't think that's the plan anymore. I have knit a bit with it last week, and I found out that I actually enjoy the color even more than I do. I just thought it would be kind of a plain grey, but it has a bit of variegation throughout with the color, and when knitted up that looked really nice. So I think I actually might turn some of this yarn into a project for myself and pairing it with mohair possibly, and I think I might be tempted to actually knit up the Ingrid, but don't quite know. So I'm going to be thinking a bit more about that before I do something. Now we're soon moving into the more pink yarns, but we have a few more grays first. This is Drops Nord, and this is sock yarn, and it's the first sock yarn that I ever got, and that's 2 years ago soon. And I still haven't made these socks. This is for the penny socks, and the plan has not changed. I'm just waiting for motivation and time to actually cast on the penny socks, but I'm hoping it will happen this year. So that's my plan. Then I think it's time to move into the pinks. This is actually more Baby Merino by Drops. I think this is the blush color, if I'm not mistaken. None of this has a plan either, it's just nice to have some pink on hand also if you're going to knit up any gifts. So I have gotten quite a lot of pinks recently because of that. This is 500 grams, but it's 2 different dye lots, so I have 250 grams of each dye lot. And then I have some Drops Alpaca in pink. I think the color is called Pink, maybe powdered pink. Just a really nice pink, and I'm really looking forward to knit with this. So I think I might have to find a project to knit in this Drops Baby Alpaca soon. It's really soft and a really nice color, so I think that has to happen. Then I actually have some knitting for Olive Pure Silk. This is in the color Dove Blue, and I knit myself a Yoko top with this last summer, and then I have about 80-90 grams left. So my plan is to try to make a Friday sweater for my son with this, but as a t-shirt. And I got 4 skeins for making myself a top, and I almost have 2 full skeins left. So I think I should be able to make a t-shirt in the size 2 to 3 years using what's left. So that's my plan for these 2. Then I have even more Drops Baby Merino. This is, what's this color called? Ørkenrosa in Norwegian, so that would be desert pink in English, if that's it. Yeah, just a nice muted pink, kind of beige, so also just a nice basic to have. A lot of the yarn I have now I have kind of just in case, or I'm not stressing about using it up, it's just nice to have. I got quite a lot at the end of last year because my mom and aunt closed down their cafe where they also sold yarn, so I got quite a lot of their yarn for a really cheap price. So I got quite a lot because I thought it would be dumb to just not buy it when it was so cheap. So I'm not stressed about having to use all of it up. I want to wait until I actually use it for something that's needed or something I want to knit. This is also Drops Flora in the color white, but I think it has a different dye lot than the other Drops Flora in white. But this is just a skein I have used a little bit of. Oh. Then this is what's left after making my Agnete cardigan. This is Drops Flora in off-white and mohair in off-white. So I don't know if I'm going to pair these up and make something, or if I'm going to pair this up with the white and make something, and quite exactly what I'm going to make. But mohair is quite expensive, even though Drops is cheaper, so I'm not stressing about making anything before I know what I want. More Drops Flora. This is the color pink, kind of like a powder pink, just a nice basic. And with this, like the others, I'm not stressing about using it. It's just nice to have on hand. I have talked a bit in previous videos about me wanting a pink sweater, but I think I want something a bit more shock pink. I think the nearest color to something that I want myself is maybe the Drops Alpaca. But I think it would be nice to use from my stash, but I don't want to force myself to use from my stash if it's not what I actually want, because then that would just lead me into not wearing it, and then it would not be worth anything, kinda. So I'm not forcing myself to knit exclusively from my stash, but I think I have enough projects that I want to make from my stash that I'm going to try to not buy anything more until I'm under 10 kilos at least. I think I'm at 15 kilos now maybe. But I have some Drops Lima here. This is the color powder pink. And this is what I made the Selma sleepsuit with. So I have a bit more of that. That's also without the plan. Then I have this. This is Drops Puna in the color Peanut. And this actually has a plan, and I'm knitting on it right now. This is the Hazel sweater by Petite Knit. And I'm knitting it up in Drops Puna. That's not the recommended yarn or anything, but I think I'm hitting gauge. I actually did make a gauge swatch, but you can never know if you knit in the same tension when you're knitting in the round. So that's that. Then I have these yarns that I actually bought at my grocery store because they were on sale, and I don't know what the colors are called, but I got both some 100% wool, and then I got some merino wool. I think I got these three are 100% wool, and then this is merino wool. So that's probably going to turn into maybe knits for kindergarten or baby knits and stuff like that. And then the last thing of yarn I have is this scrap yarn bucket or basket, or what you call it. I don't think it's just scrap yarns. I also think I have some full skeins that are just left over from other projects. But my goal for myself is to never have this basket overflowing, because the scraps can really get out of hand. So as you can see, it's quite full now, so I will have to do some scrap knitting very soon. And then I just go through this basket and weigh all my yarn and see what I can make from what I have. And I just like to look at this color because it's just so nice and vibrant. So I like to have that at the top of my basket. But I don't think I will go through everything that's in here because that would take even longer, and I've already been going on for so long about all the other yarns. But if you want to see my scrap yarn and how I plan my scrap yarn knitting, let me know and I can make a video about that. But I think we can get into the cleaning part of this video. Okay, so I think I figured out how I want it, and I've gotten rid of all of the plastic, so that's quite nice to not have to hear all of that crinkling sound. And this is the result. I try to have my off-white kind of yarn here, the off-white and the chalk here, and then all of my blues here, and then my browns, and then on my actual desk here I have the grey Flora and my pink alpaca, the pink Lima, the pink Flora, some baby merino, my single skein, and then the grey and white. And then I have some more pinks here, and I have that color both here and there because I try to separate it because there are different dye lots. And then I have my sage green here. So I think it turned out quite nice. Maybe the white one is a bit on its own over there. The only thing I'm afraid of, it's all toppling over. That's a real chance, but quite happy with how that turned out. I also have a couple of bags down here because these were not even open yet, so I figured I can just lay there and wait. And then I also put some of my yarn in this basket. These are all the projects that I have definite plans for. So my penny socks and the yarn I got gifted from my brother, the pure silk that's going to turn into Friday tea for my son, and my current project. And then I still have my leftover yarn. So that's my yarn stash and all of my yarn. It's all in all its glory. This is 15 kilos of yarn. I think the fun part of having it all like this is that it's very noticeable if I use any, and very noticeable if I get any more. So it will be fun to keep track of if I actually use more than I buy, which I hope I do. And maybe in half a year or something we can do a check-in again and see if I have used any and how much I have left then.